everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am filming my 29-week twin pregnancy update, and there's a lot to talk about this week. We had an ultrasound yesterday and another scare with the shortened cervix. So for those of you that haven't watched my previous video, they detected 2 weeks ago that my cervix has started to shorten. It originally was at a 3.9 centimeter, which is great and nice and long. They wanted as close to 4 as possible until the end of pregnancy. And then 2 weeks ago, they noticed that it was, the term they used was funneling, from a 2.8 to a 2.2 or 2.1 centimeter. So they call it a dynamic cervix, which basically just means that it's constantly fluctuating and it doesn't just stay in one spot. So they wanted me to go, my OB wanted me to go on bed rest, to just stay off my feet as much as possible. They gave me the progesterone suppositories, they gave me the Celestone steroid shot to develop the baby's lungs. Fast forward 2 weeks from then, I went yesterday for my follow-up ultrasound to see if things had sort of stabilized, but unfortunately they have gotten worse. So yesterday my cervix was funneling again from a 1.7 to a 1.3, and basically anything below 2 is not great. Anything below 1.4 means that I could go into labor at any point in time, from what I understand. So although the bed rest isn't proven to prevent the babies from coming necessarily, but it is proven to take the weight of the babies off my cervix. So they want me on a more strict bed rest until the end, because they don't want me going into labor. They hooked me up to a non-stress test again. The babies are doing great. They're growing, but because the cervix is shortening even more, they were going to keep me in overnight and have me monitored for regular contractions, but for the most part they were irregular yesterday. So they said go home, rest, and come back if anything changes. So that's where we're at with that. We're super worried. We know that this can happen, and a lot of women have a shortened cervix and make it another few weeks from that point on. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that nothing changes at this point in time. They're doing everything they can. They've already done everything they can, and I'm doing everything I can. So at this point, it's just a waiting game. And if the babies want to come, they're going to come. So because my first pregnancy, I don't know if you watched the update on that, I had my daughter so quickly. She was born on the bathroom floor at home because it happened so fast. So because of my history, they're worried that any little sign of labor means that I could be having these babies either here or on the way to the hospital. So they said any regular contractions come straight over. So they were going to keep me overnight, but they said just go home and then come back ASAP. So kind of worried, but my Braxton Hicks contractions aren't regular per se. They're just definitely more frequent than they have been. So I have to keep a really close eye on them. Anytime I do get up, even just sitting, I feel them. So I have increased my water intake because they say that's really helpful, which means I've also increased my trips to the bathroom. But that's okay, and I notice it does help reduce how frequent they are, and I'm just trying to stay on my back as much as possible. So that's sort of where we're at. We're only 29 weeks, so we really don't want these babies coming yet. Obviously 30 weeks is better, and then 32 weeks is even better than that, and my OB doesn't guess that I'll make it past 34. So that's the ultimate end goal at this point. Twins are usually born around the 37-week mark, so regardless, we're preparing for premature babies and some NICU time. which has been hard for us to wrap our heads around. We don't really know what to expect and what to prepare for, but we're just trying to do lots of reading, and I found a lot of helpful YouTube videos as well of women that have gone through it firsthand. I'm a part of a couple twin mom Facebook groups that have been super helpful because a lot of the women in there have also gone through similar situations. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed. We're praying and hoping that these babies stay cooking for a few more weeks at least. My mom is still staying with us Monday to Friday to help with our daughter because I'm not supposed to be lifting her or cooking or cleaning or any of that. So that's sort of where we're at with that. And then in terms of my symptoms this week, I'll just dive into those. One of the ones I've noticed, especially since I've been on the bed rest for the past 2 weeks, is the acid reflux or indigestion, just probably from being on my back more. Even water will want to come up. So it's not necessarily heartburn per se, but that's definitely a symptom I've noticed more since being on the bed rest. The dizzy spells and shortness of breath from laying on my back and spine is still occurring more regularly now, I would say, than even last week's update. Probably just because the babies are growing and I'm even more on my back now than I was before because it's more strict. So definitely noticed that. In terms of food cravings, I wouldn't say I've had anything crazy that way up until this point in the pregnancy. I've enjoyed my fruits and my sweets, but I always do. So I wouldn't say that's more now that I'm pregnant than normal. Maybe my pop intake, like my soda pop intake, I would say ginger ale's my new go-to drink when I'm sick and tired of water. But really, that I try to limit that to just once or twice a week because they're full of sugar. So not too many cravings that way. With my daughter, with her pregnancy, I was craving chocolate chip cookies, chocolate chip muffins, mini eggs, anything chocolate. I would have to have something daily, but I haven't really noticed that, and I don't know if it's maybe because I'm not driving and I'm not out and about anymore on my own, so I barely leave the house, so I just don't have access to like the Tim Hortons or McDonald's drive-through as easily, so I've just been avoiding maybe the cravings that way. But anyway, the bed rest has been causing me to go a little stir crazy. I have a huge nesting urge. I want to get so much done and I can't. I'm not allowed to do anything. So that's put a little bit of tension on our relationship, my husband and I, because I'm sort of relying on him to get everything done ASAP. And up until this point, up until yesterday's ultrasound, I think he was in denial that these babies could come any day now. So he was just like, we've got lots of time, I'll do it, I'll get around to it. And then we got in a couple arguments about that. But anyway, he has now stepped up his game and started getting, like, the cribs are definitely up and all the little things around the house are getting done. The nursery, he's like, we're finishing the nursery this weekend, you're packing your hospital bag tomorrow, and we have to get these car seats ordered ASAP. So we know that the babies will be in the NICU for sure if they come now. So certain things aren't as urgent, but it is just nice to know that they're done. And then because I'm so OCD when it comes to organizing, I know that it'll relieve my anxiety knowing that he has gotten those things done for me, because normally it would just be me doing it all. So he's sort of feeling like, oh my gosh, like this list is never ending. And then he works all day, so I get it. He's tired, he doesn't want to come home and keep working, but somebody's got to do it. And my mom's helping a ton, but she's also taking care of our daughter and the house cleaning. So like she's got a lot on her plate too. So another symptom, I'd say, my boobs have been definitely more sore this week, more so than I've noticed before. So that was happening a lot in the first trimester, and then just recently I noticed, okay, yep, time to get a new bra. I take it off any chance I can because it just drives me crazy. Progesterone suppositories have been helping with my sleep. One of the side effects or symptoms to the progesterone suppositories is drowsiness. So the good side of that, doing that nightly, is I have been sleeping through the night for the most part, which is crazy to hear in the third trimester. I know you are more tired in the third trimester, and I've definitely felt that, but I've been resting lots, so I've been worried that like my nights are going to be full of tossing and turning and bathroom breaks. And I try to limit my water intake before bed so that I'm not up. Apart from the ultrasound yesterday, I have seen my OB and my midwife since filming my last update, and the measurement, my fundal height measurement was still measuring at a 33 centimeter. Which is good. It's not changing, but at the same time, when I go for the ultrasounds, they are noticing the babies are gaining weight. They didn't tell me the exact calculated weight estimate this time, but they did say that baby A is within the 54th percentile and baby B is within the 72nd percentile for growth. So they're doing really well. They're gaining weight. I haven't, but again, they're not concerned. I'm still hovering around the 142, 143 mark, which is just a 22, 23 pound weight gain for me. However, they're not concerned because clearly the babies are growing and getting all the nutrients they need. So the last thing I'd say I would mention is I've been feeling super guilty almost that we're no longer gonna be a family of 3, but a family of 5 soon, and I'm just sad for my daughter that she'll no longer be the only child. So that'll be a little bit hard. I've had a lot of time to adjust to not being able to be one-on-one with her all the time now that I'm on this bed rest. So I'm hoping that it helps, and I know once the new normal comes, it'll be fine and we'll be so happy. But it is a little bittersweet to know that she's no longer going to be the baby, and I know that they say once you have a second or third, your oldest just becomes like a little mini adult really quickly, and they start growing up really fast because you're then comparing them to a newborn all the time, and they just look so ginormous and act so mature. And so that's been another I wouldn't say symptom obviously, but just another thing I've been going through this week, especially knowing that these babies could come any day now. So anyway, that'll pass, I'm sure. And then in terms of the hospital bag, my midwife just suggested, like, the babies are going to be fine. They're going to be in NICU, so you'll have time to get stuff ready for them. And in the meantime, the hospital provides all the diapers and clothes and blankets. So get your hospital bag packed because you don't know how long you'll have to stay. So if the babies do cooperate and don't come right away, I will film a what's in my hospital bag for you if you guys are interested. And then I will touch base with you hopefully next week for the 30-week update. We are praying that we get to that point. And I'll give you a little shot of the belly bump, and I measured all the way around again this week, and I think I measured it at 38 inches last week, so I've gained an inch. It is officially 39 inches this week. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to follow along our journey, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks so much. Bye. So this is the belly from the front, and my pants officially don't fit over top anymore, but this is the side view.